Well, today's storms have moved off to the east, but we have another severe threat tomorrow, and it's a more widespread severe threat. A lot of us are going to get into the action. We'll talk about it straight ahead.
It's a dramatic and puzzling mystery in southwest Detroit. What caused a building to shift and a road to buckle? We'll tell you what's next in the search for an answer. Paula.
Mandated vaccines, the exemption or opt-out.
But I would rather have almost everyone vaccinated and a few people opting out than trying to force everyone to get vaccinated.
Why one local medical ethicist says it is good and bad for the same reasons.
Live from downtown Detroit, home of WDIV and Click on Detroit, Local 4 News First at 4 starts now.
Good afternoon, I'm Karen Drew. First at 4, we've been tracking a cluster of severe storms moving through the viewing area. Now, you may have seen some damaging wind, maybe some torrential rain. Meteorologist Paul Gross has been watching the storms very closely. So where do things stand right now, Paul?
Well, fortunately, we're in the clear, Karen, and that's good news. We did have reports of some severe hail, 1-inch hail. That's quarter-size hail at Elmwood Elementary in Grosse Pointe. We also had some trees down in Fowlerville, a large tree, in fact. But you can see that the activity has moved off to the east, and we just have a few little, once this thing gets by, you can see just a few little showers here that may skirt the thumb during the course of the next couple of hours or so. But if you widen out and we switch over to the Grand Rapids radar, you can see there's not a whole lot that's going on that's going to be coming our way. So I think a stray shower is possible overnight, but I think we're done with the violent weather. Now, look at these temperatures. 71 in Detroit, 68 Howell, 63 in Pontiac with winds generally from the east north of a warm front. Now look at Adrian. It is 21 degrees warmer from Pontiac to Adrian with the southwest wind behind that warm front. So we have some steamy air coming in. Now, again, north of the warm front, just kind of settling into the 60s through the evening hours. But when we get into that warm front, temperatures can actually come up late tonight, and we're back well into the 80s tomorrow with that severe storm threat. We'll break that down for you coming up, Karen.
Now, in southwest Detroit, experts say it's something they have never seen before. Some kind of underground issue has caused a building to shift and a road to buckle. It all started Saturday night on West 4th Street. Right now, DTE crews are working to fix a natural gas leak in the area. But that's not what caused the problem. Once the leak is fixed, a nearby marijuana dispensary will be demolished. That will allow investigators to get underground to determine the actual cause. City officials say customer safety is their top priority.
We're ensuring that they are safe. As we know, there was no explosion here, so that is the main point we want to get out. There was a slow growth of something that happened underneath. Their water is fine, and they have no disruption in their other utilities.
DTE encourages anyone that smells gas or suspects a gas leak to leave the area immediately, then call 911 and their gas provider. The mayor of Flat Rock tells Local 4 he believes families displaced by a Ford gas leak and the resulting fumes may be out of their homes another week or maybe 2. Testing of their 1,100 homes is underway. Also, the city is planning to give residents more answers in person. There will be an open house and town hall meeting at the high school football field tomorrow. Mayor Mark Hammond tells us the in-person aspect is important so families can ask any question of Ford, as well as the state and local agencies working on the problem. A shooting near the Detroit-Hamtramck border leaves 2 women dead and 4 other people hurt. It happened about 11 o'clock Sunday night on Halleck Street near Davison during a family gathering. Police say one of the women was in her 20s, the other was in her 60s. The other 4 injured in the shooting range in ages from their late teens to nearly 70 years old. We're still waiting an update from police on their conditions as well as a possible motive for the shooting. The battle against COVID-19 has plenty of Michigan businesses just scrambling to deal with new vaccine mandates. And we'll have more on the new HR challenges in a second, but first, a snapshot of where things stand today. The state is reporting more than 6,000 new cases over the past 3 days. That's an average of just about 2,000 a day. The state is also reporting an additional 29 deaths blamed on the virus, plus 70 new outbreaks in schools, which means 2 or more cases from different households who may have shared exposure on school grounds. President Biden threw down new vaccine mandates Friday. Today, Paula Tutman tells us the battle for vaccine compliance actually goes back hundreds of years.
Yeah, you know, Karen, this is so incredibly complex in terms of employees and retention, employers and enforcement. And as you said, this is not necessarily new, this whole idea of vaccine resistance. Revolting against vaccines is not new. It is part of the DNA of our global history, according to Dr. Mark Navin, a medical ethicist with Oakland University and Beaumont Health.
England in the mid-19th century was mandating smallpox vaccine for everyone in their country, and there were riots. They were like government buildings burnt down. And so they introduced, in order to sort of have a pressure escape valve for this real anger people were feeling, they introduced conscientious objections to their mandatory vaccine laws.
And in fact, Dr. Navin believes opt-outs or exemptions, whether medical or religious, are a necessary relief valve to keep the pressure cooker, that is the battle over vaccine mandates, from blowing the lid off the so-called political and social pot.
It's imperfect. It's not what I would want. I want everyone vaccinated, but I would rather have almost everyone vaccinated and a few people opting out than trying to force everyone to get vaccinated and heightening the polarization and political conflict about that.
The vaccine mandates working their way into law are an HR nightmare, according to human resources expert Debbie Ritter, the benefits specialist for UHY Consultants.
It's very difficult on the HR teams. I think HR teams could be very polarized within their own team on the subject, based on people's beliefs or how they're being influenced or what they're listening to.
But in a climate where employers are already fighting to find employees and keep employees, the catch-22 for employers, mandated to mandate the vaccine, is the catch-22.
I think it is a really hurdle for a lot of companies. There's not enough people to work the Chick-fil-A's and the Arby's and things, and you see them limiting hours or cutting or you're standing in line for twice as long, 3 times as long. It has such ripple effects through the corporate America that touches almost every aspect of things that have already been very hot topics in our news today regarding wages, minimum wages, everything we touch, this will impact.
So when you think about that phrase, it's complicated, you could look in a dictionary and this example of vaccine mandates would be the poster child for that phrase. It really is just that complicated. We're talking about unions, we're talking about political beliefs as well as religious beliefs. Listen, one organization has really played hardball on this, and that's one of our local hospital systems. Tonight at 5, I take a look at where they're going with their mandate, how they're doing, and what they consider their successes, in fact, Karen. So I'll see you back here in I don't know, 45 minutes or so.
All right, we look forward to it. Thank you, Paula. Well, tropical trouble continues to haunt America's Gulf Coast. This is video. Some of the big waves already hitting Galveston, Texas. Tropical storm Nicholas has slowed down, which means it could get even stronger. A storm surge could hit parts of Texas and Louisiana. Kimberly Gill joins us to take a look at the potential dangers. Good afternoon, Kim.
Hi, good afternoon, Karen. Right now, officials in Texas are saying the storm should be primarily a rain event, but they're warning residents all tropical storms are unpredictable and you never know how things will develop. The outer bands of the storm have already started lashing the coast of Texas. Take a look here at this video from Corpus Christi and South Padre Island. The storm could become a hurricane, is expected to make landfall sometime late tonight. Earlier today, people were doing all they could to get ready for the storm. Some areas could see 8 to 20 inches of rain and then flooding. Texas Governor Greg Abbott is urging people to be cautious and use common sense.
It seems like every time we have heavy rain in the Houston area, there are people who do drive into high water, and they sometimes lose their vehicles and even worse, sometimes lose their lives. Your life is the most important thing that you have. Be cautious as you travel about the Houston area and the Harris County area for the next few days.
Several schools are closed today in Houston and in Galveston, and Nicholas is also expected to bring rain to southwest Louisiana. Now, that's a little farther west than where Hurricane Ida hit last month. We'll be keeping an eye on the Gulf Coast throughout the evening, and we'll have an update coming up when you join us tonight on Local 4 News at 5. But for now, Karen, we'll send it back to you.
All right. Thank you, Kim.
Sure.
Still ahead here, first at 4, a new prediction about grocery prices that could affect plenty of shoppers here in Metro Detroit. We'll talk about how much prices could go up at one big chain. And a U.S. Capitol police officer saw this truck and thought, something was not quite right. What made him suspicious and what he found inside the vehicle. But first, a royal legal battle, why Prince Andrew's attorneys might not even show up for a hearing in a sex abuse case. Stay with us.
New coronavirus outbreaks hitting Metro Detroit schools. The updated numbers Tuesday.